Thank you so much for asking. This is such a great question. If I could go back in time to the point right before developing agoraphobia, I definitely tell myself to get a therapist and also to focus on regulating my nervous system. Unfortunately, some people are going to tell you to just jump right in and go for it when you're starting to avoid certain situations. They're going to give you some pretty bad advice if they haven't been through this. They're going to tell you things like just go for it, jump in, show up, go out. And certainly everyone is different, but I'll tell you that I was kind of jumping into everything and doing everything, and that method was definitely not for me. Before I even knew what agoraphobia was, I was trying to hide the fact that I was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks. I wanted for other people to see me as normal, so I'd go to all kinds of events and do things to just prove to myself that I was okay. But really, I was in denial and I only made things worse for myself. I just kept triggering my nervous system and I just really made things worse by doing all of that without having a proper foundation in place. I started therapy around 2021, even though I had developed an anxiety disorder back in 2019. So I did take a while, and that's why I say if you feel that you're in the early stages of developing something like agoraphobia, you definitely want to speak to somebody about it. A therapist or some kind of other mental health counselor support can really help you learn techniques like breathing techniques, meditations to help you get grounded. These are methods to help you cope when you're in a state of high anxiety or panic. They can also refer you to a psychiatrist who can prescribe medication if needed. I feel like therapy is necessary for recovery. Regulating your nervous system is going to be essential for your healing. Your nervous system, when it's disordered, it's going to feel like the alarms are going off all the time. You're going to feel triggered when it's unnecessary to be triggered. And this is why regulating this inner security system is going to be so important. What really helped me was cutting off stimulants like caffeine and alcohol, and also exercising. I learned that when I'm in that state of high anxiety leading to panic, it's because my body's being flooded with adrenaline. So you need an outlet for that adrenaline, otherwise it's going to build up to a panic attack. That's what I feel I learned for myself and what has worked for me. So I no longer stimulate my body with caffeine or alcohol. And mind you, I didn't quit, in one stop. It took me a while. And exercising also helps to burn off that excess adrenaline. I also take supplements like B12 and magnesium. I'm sharing all of this with you because there's definitely things you can do now to help you with early intervention. Start by talking to somebody. You might even want to join some support groups. I joined some on Reddit and Facebook. You can even see what other people have tried as early intervention. It's important for you to do your research and really follow your intuition with respect to whatever methods you feel might work for you or not work. Don't be afraid to try. And honestly, the fact that you even commented this is a great first step. One last bit of advice I'll tell you that I think is going to be pretty hard because it was really hard for me, and it's to allow yourself to be vulnerable. At some point, you are going to need to ask for help, and not just from a therapist, but also from the people around you, whether it be family, friends, coworkers. You don't have to let everybody know what you're going through, but you will have to tell some people at some point, especially those closest to you. I spent so long trying to hide, and in a way, I'm still hiding, but I'm much more willing to be open and vulnerable than ever before. Don't be in denial about what you're going through, because that's just going to perpetuate the cycle. And once you can learn to accept where you're at and learn to accept what it is that you're going through, you're going to feel much more comfortable being open with others. Who knows, you might even be sharing your journey through social media like I am. Another note about therapy is that it really helps you understand what your triggers are, because I think that's going to be super important. You want to know what it is in the outside world that triggers those feelings of anxiety. I know for me, a lot of it has to do with feelings in public, kind of like a social anxiety, just afraid to be anxious in public, afraid to be experiencing panic in public. And that's why, I developed um, agoraphobia as a kind of like a coping mechanism. So, really getting to the root and trigger of your anxiety is going to help you, I think, in your recovery. It's going to be a multi step process for sure. But you know what? Take it step by step and just keep showing up for yourself. Again, thank you so much for asking and thank you for watching.